Greenhouse Archway. You are in an archway passage leading east and west. While the passage is still in the open, every few steps a stone arch decorates with vines stretches beautifully over the path below. You see the following items. A large, heavy boulder lies in the grass. Boulder. Interesting. Now that is quite a piece of rock. The boulder is round and nearly 3 palm spans in diameter and extremely heavy. Look at boulder. Move boulder. Take boulder. You managed to lift the boulder, but decided you'd better not walk around with it for too lengthy distances. Push boulder. It seems pushing is to no avail here, better try something else. Pull boulder. Jump on boulder. Kick boulder. Yeah. Step on boulder. Okay, so I will write down on my map that there is an item which is a boulder. Maybe we can use it later. Let's go further west now. Greenhouse entrance. You are in an archway passage connecting the Lorehold greenhouses in the west with the courtyard to the east. To the west you see a large door, however a wooden beam keeps the western door tightly shut. Cool green bark is here, the head of the brownie gardeners. Let's try to enter first. Nice try, but I still need the password from you, the brownie tells you. Otherwise you just aren't allowed to get in, simple as that. Let's look at Ghoul. This rather tall brownie, measuring at least 3/4 of a 4, is spending his time with what appears to be relaxing and watching the Malays zoom about. He is clad in remarkably clean clothes, considering he is a gardener, and has dragged a big book to a sunny patch to lie down on. He doesn't seem to be aware of your presence, or he might just be ignoring you. Obviously, Ghoul is ensuring that nobody without the proper qualifications passes into the greenhouses. You've heard talk of this little fellow around the Lorehold, so if you want to visit the Herbarium area, this is the person to speak to. Okay. Let's speak to him then. Searching for an appropriate way to initiate a conversation with someone oblivious to your presence, you move a bit closer to the small fellow. As your shadow falls on him, he suddenly looks at you. Move aside, you're in my sun! You seize the opportunity to introduce yourself. After a few awkward moments in which you look at him expectantly, he yields and stands up. I'm Ghoul, head of the gardens. I was very busy observing the Malays functioning. They need constant supervision, you know, so make it short. What's your name, little fellow? I'm still Ghoul, head of the gardens. the brownie says. Thought you might have picked that up somewhere already. What are you doing out here, Brownie, you ask. Well, I'm making sure everybody does what they are supposed to do out here. What did you think? And I'm supposed to keep track of people who enter the greenhouse by entering them in the entrance lock. He nods at the thick book he is standing on. You can't help but wonder how such a small person is going to handle it. No, I'm sure he can handle it. May I enter the greenhouse? What, you want to enter the greenhouse? Most certainly not. There's dozens of dangerous plants in there. Only people who score at least 80% of the entrance test are allowed in. He snores and sizes you up. And you don't look like you'll be passing that one either. Oh, I'll write that down. I'll write that down. 80% for entrance. Can I make the test now? Well, it works like this. I ask you a couple of questions, and if you get at least 4 of them right, you are allowed to go in. If you really want to try, fine, I'll give you the test, but I'd save myself the humiliation if I were you. Are you sure you want to try? But of course. Okay, let's begin. Goes Stace and takes out a list of questions on it. Herbarium test question number 1. Many plants have various uses, be it for food, medicine, or as a resource of some kind. There are also a few plants, however, that nobody would consider harvesting, for their resource can only be harvested while they live on it. The drizzle trees are one such species. What resource do they provide? They look wonderful when in bloom. They may grant knowledge to visitors. They can perform magic that improves your appearance. They ward off demons. Drizzle trees. Knowledge to visitors. Let's say D. Right, I'll write this down. Herbarium test question 1. Drizzle trees. Okay. The answer D is incorrect. Alright. Alas, if this were true, drizzles would be found all over Sarvonia, tended by each race as a protective measure. Sadly enough, they are rare beings usually found only near brownies. Okay. Herbarium test question number 2. The dwarves consume large amounts of dried and roasted seeds of this plant with their ale, and hobbits make them into bread, and humans draw from them a fine cooking oil that provides a healthy alternative to regular butter. From what plant do these remarkable seeds hail?